have a talent for singing, playing an instrument, spoken word, or dance? Then this is your moment. Cayman's Got Talent Season 1 is here. And for our first season, we're putting the spotlight on gospel. Selected participants will be featured at the Point of Praise Gospel Extravaganza on October 25, 2025. But hurry, the final date for registration is September 30. To register, email us at info@flashpointmedia.ky or WhatsApp 345-321-6969. That's 345-321-6969. Don't miss this opportunity to showcase your talent and be part of something special. Cayman Got Talent. Good morning and welcome to the breakfast hour. Yes, is that moment in time that we spend quality time together. And I don't know what you've been up to for the weekend or for yesterday, but today is the final day in the month of September.
September,
It
yeah.
seems as if this year went at record speed. Good morning, Mikey G, and good morning to all our listeners on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and of course via our web radio, www.flashpointmedia.ky.
Listen, as you said that a while ago, I'm taken back in time.
Yes.
And every year we say the same thing. It's like saying it's getting faster and faster. Every year we say the year is going faster than usual. And I just listened to you say it a while ago, and I'm just realizing that we have been saying this for quite a while now.
Yes.
And it is true. The time has slipped away so quickly that the 30th of September is here, and it's as if it was yesterday that we started the new year.
Yes.
Right? And I can't believe that we are already in September. 9 months in the year, going into the 10th month already, and it is fascinating to see how sometimes we start the year with our New Year's resolutions and the plans that we may have, and it is already September and none of those plans have already been recognized or realized.
Well, the one thing I do recognize, Mikey G, and I started this year with that concept, is that I'm just going to do it. You'll see Elise doing stuff because I decided that
I'm just going to do it.
2025 is the year that I'm just not going to say stuff. I'm going to do stuff.
Yeah.
And we have been doing stuff right here. And for those on the journey with us, we say thank you. It has been quite an adventure and a journey and a learning experience for sure, because some crucial tips have come out. I want to say congratulations to the incoming president of the Optimist Club of Georgetown, Mr. Marlon Levy. He's at the helm, and I'm sure on the weekend, he was installed, and we say congratulations. Yes, yes.
Congratulations are in order for many persons as well. For those persons who went to the concert on the weekend with Kalindra Radrika. Yeah, congratulations, Kalindra. Had pulled off a wonderful concert, and indeed a talent that well deserving some attention. And it was amazing. Footage that we have secured provides evidence of this amazing time spent in time right here in the Grand Cayman Islands. And so I want to say good morning to our listeners. I want to add my quote of good morning and thank you for joining us this morning as well. Of course, as we progress into the morning's experience right here on Flashpoint, I want to take you through our devotional by the lady Miss Susan Long. Of course, remember, our devotional is brought to us by M&M Construction for all your construction needs. And of course, Lasco Food Drink. When we come back.
Scott, and you're listening to Flashpoint Radio. Rise and shine. Your morning boost of inspiration, news, and fun. With Mikey G, Lady Elise, and Coralie Karen. The unmistakable combination, synergized to navigate.
Good morning. This is day 30. Let another man praise you, and not your own mouth, a stranger, and not your own lips. Proverbs chapter 27, verse 2. Boast, Roast, written by Mart DeHaan. The owner of a small foreign car had begun to irritate his friends by bragging incessantly about his car's gas mileage. So they devised a plan to bring his boasts to an end. Every day one of them would secretly pour a few gallons of gas into the car's tank. Soon, the braggart was boasting of getting as much as 90 miles per gallon. The pranksters enjoyed watching his exasperation as he tried to convince people of the truthfulness of his claims. It was even more fun to see his reaction when they stopped refilling the tank. The poor fellow couldn't figure out what had happened to his car. This incident points out that self-congratulation can backfire and leave a person looking foolish. There is something repulsive about talk that advertises one's own good judgment or abilities. How much better it is to find our security and sense of worth in a quiet, personal relationship with the Lord. If we do that, we will become more interested in the needs and successes of others than we are in our own. We will speak of our concerns and accomplishments only as a means of encouraging others who need an uplifting word. Such an approach will win notice and approval, even though we're not looking for it. If you would glorify your God and thus adorn his name, be sure you keep your heart from pride, self-praise, and boasting scorn. Our quote this morning reads, "People who sing their own praises usually do so without accompaniment." End quote.
Looking to build your dream home or renovate your space? M&M Construction is the perfect place. We bring your vision to life with precision and quality craftsmanship. From design to construction, we guide you every step, ensuring seamless coordination and superior results. Our professional roof inspection and maintenance services will ensure that your roof is sturdy this hurricane season. So, if you are ready to start your construction journey, call us today at 345-927-7509. Build with confidence. Build with M&M Construction. 345-927-7509.
Lasco One and Up now has ARA, DHA, and prebiotics. It's a new, smarter formula. The time by Lasco One and Up is...
It's 7:51 in the AM right here in Grand K. If you are in another part of the world, you can connect with us. Send us a message on 345-321-6969. If you're up there in the UK, good afternoon to you. It is afternoon to you. But if you're in Canada or in the US, it's still good morning, and welcome to the breakfast hour. And all of the persons are celebrating. I just looked at the Ebenezer chat and realized that Sister Dorcia Scott Renew is celebrating her birthday today. Lots of celebrations going on, of course. If it's your birthday, happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday to you. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday, my KG. That's kind of weird, huh? I'm singing happy birthday. Alright, so happy birthday to all those who are celebrating happy birthday in the month of September. Of course, we remember we had our September birthday celebration on the beach. All celebrants who enjoyed the celebration on the beach on last week. It was not last Sunday, actually.
Sunday, yeah, I think I have a few of the highlights.
Yeah, a few of the highlights can be shown this morning. Yeah, let's pop a few things up for some of our peeps this morning. Yeah. On the beach. I want to big up the man Wilmot this morning. Wilmot, big up yourself. The man who fried the best dumpling in Grand Cayman Islands. Yeah. Alright, so I want to say also to Janine. Janine, boy, man, I tell you, you are the chef of the year, right? Janine does keep our thing going 100%. It's a non-stop. Evidence of what we do on the weekend came up. It was priority mail. This one was amazing for our peeps to see. So, yeah. For those flash pointers who missed the boat, for those persons who did not come, for those who did not turn up for the event, ladies, I can feel the pain that they have right now. For not enjoying that lovely ackee and saltfish. Yeah, we had ackee and saltfish and some dumpling there at Wilmot. Hide the recipe from everybody, not giving nobody the recipe. So that's it. It's Wilmot style. And so remember, guys, our point of praise edition of our where we launch our Cayman God's Talent this October. We can always see this October. It's almost today's the last day in September, so we're gonna just keep it quiet a little bit. This October 25th will be the point of praise where we launch our Cayman God's Talent competition right here in the Grand Cayman Islands, guys. It's gonna be an exciting evening. And I tell you, you need to come out. Of course, it is $25 for adults. It's $10 for children at VIP, $50. Come out early, $35 at the gate if you buy the ticket late. So that's how it's going to work. All right, guys? So just keep it simple, keep it real. Flashpoint is having this one really jam-packed for you. We're having a few sponsors that are really wanting to showcase themselves in this event. And I'm telling you, it's going to be a really awesome evening. So please come out early. Because trust me, the place I go pack up and the capacity have enough for the amount of tickets we're selling, but I'm sure that more people going to buy tickets, and we have to be careful who oversell the thing. Some people buy tickets early, please. Buy tickets early so we can lock it up and you get yours, right? Alright, let's see if we can get some highlights from the weekend on the beach with our peeps celebrating birthdays and more birthdays. Alright, so yeah, careful. Let's take one commercial and then we come back. Alright? Yes.
Looking to build your dream home or renovate your space? M&N Construction is the perfect place. We bring your vision to life with precision and quality craftsmanship. From design to construction, we guide you every step, ensuring seamless coordination and superior results. Our professional roof inspection and maintenance services will ensure that your roof is sturdy this hurricane season. So, if you are ready to start your construction journey, call us today at 345-927-7509. Build with confidence. Build with M&M Construction. 345-927-7509.
Do you have a talent for singing, playing an instrument, spoken word, or dance? Then this is your moment. Cayman's Got Talent Season 1 is here. And for our first season, we're putting the spotlight on gospel. Selected participants will be featured at the Point of Praise Gospel Extravaganza on October 25, 2025. But hurry, the final date for registration is September 30. To register, email us at info@flashpointmedia.ky or WhatsApp 345-321-6969. That's 345-321-6969. Don't miss this opportunity to showcase your talent and be part of something special. Cayman's Got Talent.
Hey man, God's talent, and this is how we're gonna do it. Yes. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I tell you. 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 What you know? What you? What you? What you? What you?
But that's what we did on the weekend. And for those who are not a part of the birthday club, this is your cue to join the birthday club. Each and every month, we have a birthday celebration on the beach. And if you want to be a part of it, just come and have some fun. So
Yes.
nice fun. And of course, what this morning is about our financial advisor who is ready to join us. And of course, he's sharing with us more tips. He started a real estate series, and I am quite anxious to hear what he will share with us today, Mikey G.
All right. So, of course, when we come back, we'll hear more about our real estate tips and advice right here on Flashpoint. All right. I want to say a pleasant good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, Mr. Thelwell. Good morning. How are you doing this morning?
Is he asleep?
Well, all right. So we have a little bit of, I think the internet sometimes do that.
Yes.
We are connected via the internet at this point, and let's see if we can fix that quickly.
Scott, and you're listening to Flashpoint Radio, Rise and Shine, your morning boost of inspiration, news, and fun. With Mikey G, Lady Elise, and Coralie Karen, the unmistakable combination, synergized to navigate.
To produce your podcast? Flashpoint Media makes it very easy. We can relieve you of the headache by recording your podcast for you. So, take the first step to getting your content to your desired audience. Contact us here at Flashpoint and your podcast will be live in no time. Our website is www.flashpointmedia.ky or call us at 345-321-6969. That's 345-321-6969.
Our financial advisor is joining us this morning. So without any further conversation, I'm going to just hand over to him. Good morning, Richard.
Good morning. How are you doing this morning?
All right. I think our audio
Are you
is.
hearing me?
We are hearing you, but not as loud as we want to. Good morning. Good morning. Lady Elise?
Good morning.
Okay, now I'm hearing.
All right.
How are you this
Come,
morning?
Richard.
I think the volume is still a little low, but I want to say good morning to you, sir. How are you doing this morning? Of course, we are here anticipating what pearls of wisdom we'll be getting today from your financial advice. Of course, today we're talking about real estate. I think that's what the topic was last week, and you're continuing in the part 2 of that. So I am sitting in anticipation of that information this morning.
Okay, great. Good morning again, Mikey G. Good morning, Lady Elise. Good morning, listeners.
All right. Good morning.
Thank you for having me again. Today, I think I'm going to try to broach a topic that hurts a lot of persons.
Wow.
And let me ask you, Mikey,
Yes.
what do you think is the biggest obstruction to owning your own home anywhere?
Oh my word! It's just I believe it's the will. Let me see if I can frame it right.
Money.
No. I'm not going to use money. I would say it is the lack of desire to actually do it. The lack of desire to do it. I think that's what it is. Well, that's what I think.
Okay, so in your case, it's the lack of desire.
The lack of desire, yes.
And Lady Elise?
Money.
Money.
He says money.
Lack of.
Oh, the lack of money.
The lack
Yes.
of money.
And in both cases, you are right. And Mikey G, to your point,
Yes.
sometimes the lack of desire to go ahead is because it's not necessarily because you don't want to own that property, but because of what it will take from you to own that property. And therefore,
yes.
your lack of desire to own that property is probably because your desire to do something else with that, with those funds that would have come in, that you have to expend. All right, so today we're going to try to delve into how you are able to buy your home in the Caribbean if you
Mm.
so desire.
If you desire.
So, first of all, there are only two ways I can remember of how to buy a house. There's a third way, but there are two main ways that everybody goes about buying a house. Right? And just like anything else that you buy, you go to the grocery shop and you use your, what's the first thing that you use?
The grocery shop, you what? Like what?
Come
I
on, you
would
go to the grocery shop, what do you do?
if I go to the grocery shop, I don't have a credit card or a debit. I have a debit card, so I'd probably use it to purchase.
Good. So you use,
I have my debit card to purchase with, or if I have cash.
so you're using cash then. That's what I'm getting at.
Yes, I'm using cash to purchase money.
Okay. And of course, you mentioned the other one while you're there. The second option is to use credit.
Credit. Okay.
Good?
Right. That's what
That's right.
I've been
So
taught.
there are two ways. So you've been taught to use cash.
No, no, no. I
And
said
again, you that's
I've now been recultured into the idea of using credit, and everybody wants me now to be on credit to do stuff. So I'm thinking about.
uh, listen, there's no need for it if there's no need for it.
There's no need if there's no need for it. All right.
So let us look at what are available to you. In the United States, there is a FHA, Federal Housing Administration, and what that is supposed to do is to help the first-time buyer to get into their property. Interest rates are usually on the lower side, 3.5%, depending on the time of day and the flavor of the president of the time. And you will find that in Jamaica, I speak about Jamaica because Jamaica captured a similar program in their NHT program. I was doing some research on other Caribbean countries, and I did not find any other Caribbean country who has a similar housing program like the NHT. What they do have, however, are subsidies. Now, these subsidies, so I'm starting with the NHT so I can pair it with the FHA in the United States. These subsidies sometimes act as in various ways. In some cases, it may be a lowered interest rate. In other cases, it may be a situation where you can get into your home with less restrictions. And of course, it depends on what you're going in with. For example, you're a veteran, you're a civil servant, and so on. So you'll find that mortgage financing can be had through these government programs. The challenge with many of these government programs, though, is that it is usually restricted to a certain dollar amount. And so you'll find that there will always be need to have additional financing to get into your home. Now, this is, of course, assuming that you want to get into your home and you're willing to take on the mortgage or the debt,
Okay.
right? If you don't have the mindset for it, as I just said, leave it alone. Renting is always an option. In the Caribbean, we have, of course, local banks. And there's some other banks that we know are from Canada. So we have Bank of Nova Scotia, we have um, FCID, and we also have CIDC in the Caribbean. That's another Caribbean bank. And getting more local in terms of Jamaica, we have the Jamaica National, which has gone international, by the way,
Mm.
in the UK as well as in the USA.
Yes, it has.
And you'll find that these options, when paired with the government programs in the Caribbean, will allow you to get into your first home. Now, remember, we're talking about Caribbean real estate, particularly from the point of view of the diaspora coming back home to the Caribbean. It is sometimes very difficult for an international buyer to buy property in the Caribbean using local banks. And so the other option, of course, is to get a loan or mortgage from your institution in your jurisdiction. So if you're from the United States, get a loan for the amount, 300, 500,000, whatever your amount is, and come in. And from the Jamaican point of view, you'd have made a cash purchase. Or you secure that loan in the US or UK, Canada, can be through the current home that you have by doing a second mortgage, right? Or what they call a cash out refi, refinancing your house by pulling the cash out of it. And that is what most persons do when coming to Jamaica or the Caribbean to purchase a home. Now, typically, the rates in the Caribbean have been fairly consistently between 5 and 10%. Jamaica currently has one of the higher interest rates, um, hovering around 9, anywhere between 9 and 11%, depending on the institution that you go to. Guyana had some higher interest rate, but they have been going down recently. And we also find interest rate in Trinidad anywhere between 6 and 9%. The other Caribbean territories, they waiver, I guess, depending again on the risk that they're taking and so on. Your loan terms are usually anywhere between 25 and 30 years. And your down payment, again, depending on if you're a first time home buyer, but for locals, it can be anywhere between 5 and 20%, meaning that you have to find 80% of the money. But once you're a non resident, we find that your down payment have to reach somewhere in the 20 or even 30%, meaning that you have to come up with 70 to 80% of the money. Qualification for these loans, like any other loan, you have to have um, job stability, good credit score, and of course, the income to back up that loan, which will all be verified, by the way. Now, what happened? I mentioned there's a second option when it comes to lending, and this is what we call seller financing. So you may have a situation where you have a home in Jamaica, and I've personally not experienced it, but I have heard of it being done, where what you find is that the Jamaican, I use Jamaica because that is where the context that I know it of, they will have the home in Jamaica, it is locked up for years, someone finds it, sees it, negotiate with the seller and say, hey, listen, I will buy that property and I will pay you over time. Now, from the seller's point of view, it provides cash flow for that period of time, 5, 10, 15 years. Well, usually shorter periods. And for the person who's taking on that loan, usually the terms are not as onerous. You may still have to come up with a higher down payment, 20 to 30%. However, you may have flexible interest rates and you may even get access to other things like furnished home, right? And insurance that you don't have to actually pay out of pocket. So there are options that are there that someone can look at if they are really interested in finding a home. Now, what about options for diaspora and foreign buyers? Now, usually, as I said before, it is more difficult for persons living outside of the Caribbean to get financing with the local banks. However, there are a few banks that will offer that diaspora type of loan, and Sagicor is one of them, Jamaica National Bank, and Victoria Mutual. I am aware of that does it. There may be others, but they offer the loans to the Caribbean, to Caribbean nationals that are living abroad. The requirements are proof of income, a valid residency status, so you can be in the US without a green card, Of course, you have to show that you're also a citizen of the country that you're um, born or taking the facility, and we will do the credit checks overseas. Now, if you're a foreign investor and you're but non-diaspora, then as I said before, you may have to purchase cash, or you find some amount of financing from your local bank, meaning local to the area that you're coming from. So, Mikey G, you're in Canada, then you go to your Canadian bank, or Lady Elise, you're in the UK, you go to a UK bank where they have your credit history, and you apply for the loan, and you come back and purchase here. Now, I also mentioned, since I have mentioned alternative lending, we have also found that some of the developers will allow for a payment plan. One developer that I've worked with mentioned that what he does is that if someone comes in at pre-construction, he will work out a payment plan, knowing that, for example, that the construction period will be say 3 years. They will come in and pay a portion of the monies over that 3 years for the price. So the list price is 500,000. Now let's use a smaller figure to match the 300,000. It's 300,000. Then they say, okay, give me 100,000 a year. That's $8,333 a month. So over the 3 year period, you would have paid off for that home. And at that point in time, you can hand over the keys and title to the purchaser. Right? So we do know that some of that is one of the options that exist, both for local persons, but it really works for U.S. Investors or persons who wish to buy in the Caribbean. With that, of course, again, it's less onerous on the
Yes.
purchaser. He will still have to find the sorry, not find, but show that he can or prove that he can make those payments through providing income statements and, of course, credit checks. Because on the side of the developer, he wants to make sure that when he hands over that keys, he is fully paid up. There may be some nuances in it, and yes, there's a risk on both sides. The what ifs, what if the developer don't finish, and the flip side, the developer will ask, what if this person don't complete payment? The good part of the developer is that if the person cannot complete the payment, he can then resell that. There's usually that in the contract where he can resell the property and pay back that person who had started making the deposit. Of course, that's all contractual, and so I don't want to get more into it. Now let's look at the US market because that's where we have more information. I have less information on the UK market. But in the US, the interest rates are usually anywhere between 5 and 7% right now. There are faster approvals. Closing times can be anywhere between 30 and 45 days in Jamaica, and the Caribbean, we tend to find 60 to 90 days. And unfortunately, sometimes it takes a little bit longer depending on what obstructions we come up with. In the US, there's a larger pool of lenders and, of course, programs because you have things like the Veterans Program and other civil service program, and of course, I mentioned the FHA originally. And Caribbean buyers in the US often qualify, as I said, through other means, the FHA, Veterans Association, or other conventional banking loans. Now, before you go in and get your start talking to your realtor or a developer, here are some ideas that I would like to share with you so that you can get a better feel of what you're getting into. First step, get pre-approved before you go shopping. Find out how much you are able to afford. So if you can afford 300,000, start looking for 300,000. If you can go $1 million, then fine, go ahead for your million. But find out first. Get your pre-approval, get your letter from your institution, and then start shopping. Get a licensed realtor. There are certain codes of conduct that they adhere to, and it will be very easy for you to go ahead, work with them, and they will give you the lay of the land. Look at closing costs. As I mentioned to you, closing costs can vary depending on the loan facility that you take out, and this can reach as much as 7% to 10%. Keep your debt to income low. I typically personally prefer that you keep your debt to income ratio low. What I mean is that if you're earning an income of $100, then you should not be paying more than about 35 to $40 in mortgages. And the reason is simple. You may have other debt, your car payment, your student loan payment, and you have living expenses. And depending on which jurisdiction you are, you also have to pay taxes. So if you're earning $100, then you should reasonably be able to afford a $35 out of each $100 towards owning your home, right? Then you have to consider your currency risk. There are some jurisdictions, Barbados, that the dollar has not fluctuated. Cayman's another one. The dollar does not fluctuate. It's 2 to 1 in Barbados. In Cayman Islands, I think it's $1. Remind me, $1, $1.05, $1.10
It is
to
80,
one
80,
US,
it is 80,
right?
80, 80 cents to the dollar. So
Sorry, the flip
one
side I was
US
thinking
dollar,
about.
80
80 cents to
cents,
the dollar. So
80 cents.
80 CI to one US dollar,
Yes.
right? So where in those two cases, there's no currency risk.
80 cents,
However, if you're
80
in a
cents,
situation
80
where
cents US to
you're,
one CI. It
oh, it's the
is,
other way around.
yes, it's
80
80 cents
cents,
CI US to one CI dollar. So the US is lower
okay,
in ratings to the CI.
the US is lower.
Yes.
All right, very nice, very nice, good. And then, as I said, consider currency risk. In Jamaica and many of the other Caribbean countries, you find that we have a fluctuating um, exchange rate. And if you purchase in the US, you will find that, and you're paying in US, you'll, but you're earning in the Caribbean currency, you will find that the cost or the mortgage payment keep rising. The flip is also true. If you're earning US dollars and you're paying back a Jamaican dollar loan, for example, you'll find that the amount of US dollars that you need to pay back each month or each year will start to reduce because of the inflation rate and the US dollar to Jamaican dollar exchange rate. All right. And the truth is, financing is one of the biggest hurdles for home buying in the Caribbean.
Yes. Very big.
And where the challenge lies. What happens is that there are options that will make life easier for you. And if you are in the diaspora and you're planning to come back home in Jamaica, there's the NHG that will allow you to work in the USA and still contribute. In other jurisdictions, I'm not too sure of how they work it. I know they will have programs for their local population, but I'm not sure about the diaspora. But there are government initiatives for the Caribbean, right? And basically, we can tap into these options, and not only one option, but maybe a combination of options to ensure that you get and move into your dream home within the Caribbean. All right. That's it for me for this morning. If you have any questions, now's a good time.
Well, where I went through the conversation earlier was the idea when you said that it is difficult to get the loan, and the way to get it is actually to have a bank in Jamaica that was willing to actually afford you that loan. And so many persons who are living in the Cayman Islands, I know, like myself, would have Jamaica National, which is really one of the more popular banks for Jamaicans within the Cayman Islands. And when you go to Jamaica, it actually recognizes you. So I would still continue with that idea. So it's a good way to it's a good point out that people who listen to this program, who listen to this show, if they don't have one of these accounts, they probably should try to get one, right. That's my takeaway, and that's what my advice would be. So, based on our conversation that we're having.
So, I can't promote any one bank or so on, right?
Sorry, I didn't get that.
I said I cannot promote any one bank.
No. I'm not suggesting that. I'm not suggesting that you are. I'm not suggesting that you are promoting a bank. I am saying that for me, what I have done, I'm just giving a personal experience. So, for me, I would suggest.
Right.
You mentioned a few banking institutions, and I have benefited from the Jamaica National Bank for myself. So I, not by giving them a promotion, I guess we have, and free commercial there, I suppose. But I guess it's just the fact that it actually benefits me so much that I'm just speaking from my heart here, that it benefited me. I have had some hiccups with a few things now and then, but for the better part of it, it is the bank that I have used for years. So I'm going to just stop giving the free commercial now.
Yeah, but certainly a very
But to your point.
Yes.
Yeah, but to your point, Mikey G.
Yes.
I was adding that what you find is that it will be good if you can do business with banks that are more international in flavor. That way, when you want to invest in the Caribbean, you already have a relationship with that bank. And you mentioned Jamaica National, right? So Jamaica National is in the Cayman Islands, UK, and the USA. And since you give a little promotion, there are other banks. There's BNS, there's CIBC, there's FCIB. And there are other international banks that will operate within the Caribbean that I know of. Trying to remember this one on Hope Road. But they are there and they will facilitate that opportunity for you. So it's just a matter of maintaining the relationship, and that's what I was alluding to. Not saying that you're promoting any one bank.
Right. Well, this was just by default. Default setting. I didn't plan to go promoting.
But what is the good thing? What you mentioned too is the currency, and I noticed we were going through the exchange rates and so forth, and it's one thing, Richard, is to recognize how the real estate market over the years have been so. I don't know what to use the word, but the prices of real estate have gone up so quickly. It seemed like it's like a steady climb. And so if you're waiting and waiting and waiting and say maybe things will be better or maybe I'll be able to, but if you start, as you mentioned, check out how much do you qualify for and start shopping around so that there might be something that suits your budget that you can certainly start to invest, so that when it's time, if you want to go, if it's a vacation home that you have, or it's a retirement home, or it's just your home, or if it's an investment, then you would be putting your money to work. And so the conversation, I believe it is relevant to everyone. Those living in Jamaica, those living in other parts of the world,
Yes.
who are thinking that, okay, I'm going back to Barbados, I'm going back to Trinidad. What do I need to do to prepare? So certainly I want to thank you, Richard, for keeping the
Yeah,
conversation
yeah.
relevant. And I want to also allow you at this time to share with our listeners and viewers, remembering that we have those joining us on Facebook, Instagram, and those on our web radio, www.flashpointmedia.ky. They are not seeing us, but they are hearing us this morning. But if you need to contact Richard and you have a little question that you want to ask him, you can shoot him an email at broker at richardthelwell.com. That's broker at richardthelwell.com. I will share the contact information in the description of this video. Thank you so much, Richard. It has been an absolute pleasure for you to join us.
All right, so when we
Thank
come
you for
back,
having me.
we'll have more. Of course.
They must have been happy for that.
Oh my word.
Do you have a talent for singing, playing an instrument, spoken word, or dance? Then this is your moment. Cayman's Got Talent Season 1 is here. And for our first season, we're putting the spotlight on gospel. Selected participants will be featured at the Point of Praise Gospel Extravaganza on October 25, 2025. But hurry, the final date for registration is September 30. To register, email us at info@flashpointmedia.ky or WhatsApp 345-321-6969. That's 345-321-6969. Don't miss this opportunity to showcase your talent and be part of something special. Cayman Got Talent.
All right, welcome back, guys. I'm telling you, I went off a while ago off script, Elise, and I'm telling you, for some unknown reason, I was just doing what I do best. I didn't think about it. I just went off. I just knew. I'm just not
Yeah,
recommending any
you did
particular.
what you do.
I do what I do.
But of course, I also want to do what I do. Now, for those of you in the Grand K, you would know what's happening on the ground, right? There's a lot happening. The crusade started over there at the King's Seventh Day Adventist Church. Elder Racine Smith, a man on fire for God, and of course, the crusade at King's every night at 7 p.m. And of course, the Ebenezer Seventh day Adventist Church is preparing also for their evangelistic series, which is going to be a weekend scenario where they have Friday nights and Saturday nights. But however, in the community, Miss Global International is also happening, right? And so we have ladies joining us from all over the world. And yesterday, our first contestant, our first international contestant, arrived on island. Of course, Flashpoint, we were there. We were there to welcome her, and she has a brief greeting to share with us all. So let's listen to her.
Hi everyone, my name is Kyla and because representing Canada here at Miss Global International 2025, I am calling out all the Filipino community here in Cayman Islands because I'm actually a Filipino Canadian. I was born and raised in the Philippines for 16 years, and this moment of time is my dream to represent my country, and not just my country, Canada, but my Filipino Canadian community. So please come and join us on October 4th at Hotel Indigo to celebrate and to see who's gonna win the Miss Global International 2025. See you there!
All right. Yeah. Yeah. Miss Global International.
Yes, of course. We of course welcome them to the shores of the Cayman Island, and of course, a Flashpoint team. We were there as a part of the welcoming committee. Yeah, Flashpoint
Awesome,
style.
awesome, awesome,
No,
awesome.
but before we get over to the news, Mikey G, I want to just share with you there are a number of things that celebrated today. I want to say a special birthday greeting to my niece Shannon. Want to wish you all the best and many, many, many more happy ones. Continue to exude such grace and beauty and lots of love coming from Elise. Now, today, September 30, is actually also National AI in Work Day. That's Artificial Intelligence
Intelligence.
in Work Day. Now, on this day, we are celebrating National AI in Work. We are using today to elevate the conversation around using AI responsibly in the workplace to empower professionals with insights and knowledge they need to thrive in an AI powered workplace. Follow along as we explain why using AI in the workplace can be a tool for growth, not a source of stress. AI is no longer a future concept, it's a present day reality. Yet many professionals feel overwhelmed, underprepared, or unsure of how to keep up. In fact, a global study sponsored by LinkedIn found that more than 40% of all professionals are feeling overwhelmed by how quickly they're expected to adapt to and get AI. National AI in Workday addresses these gaps by offering curated learning paths, experts insight from trusted voices, and peer led communities that make AI feel more accessible and actionable. And of course, in this page, they say AI is for everyone. National AI in Workday isn't just for tech experts, it's designed for everyone. Employers who provide a dedicated time and space for workers to turn anxiety about AI into action will build confidence in their employees' ability to work alongside AI and will foster innovation. It's no longer enough to experiment with AI. People are expected to use it or fall behind.
Well, that is factual and true. There's no doubt about what you said is true. We
Yes,
know what the impact of that is, though, is that when we think about the prospect of persons earning and earning from their abilities in
yes,
the workplace, AI is now replacing many persons who are employees,
yes,
and we have to see the harsh reality of where we are today in our society. We cannot no longer hide ourselves under the rock, believing that we won't be found or we are hidden from anything.
yes,
And so now we have to now consider as human beings on the brink of extinction. Where we are right now, we are thinking that we are progressing, but we are not really progressing as much as we think we are.
hmm
we're actually being ushered out of the scene and into an extinction age where no longer we can think for ourselves and something is thinking for us. And so this is where we are. No longer someone can add two numbers together without getting a calculator. We have become lazy. Our minds have become lazy. And so we have been dependent on a machine to think for us and to tell us what to think and how to think. Now, when that happens, I see it as a dangerous twisting event. And I believe that we have given ourselves over to a system that will dominate us as people and will be a ruler in a few short years. That's why the concept when it says use AI responsibly. Using AI responsibly meaning that the thing can be out of control at any point and it has a mind of its own. Now if it has a mind of its own and has that capability to think faster than me, more rapid than me, and act faster than me, how will I be able to stop it when it plans to do what it wants to do with my information that it already have control and access to? We are in danger. We are in serious, serious danger. And for many people who don't know, I am welcoming the AI, but I am afraid of what we are going to experience in short years. Many persons are going to find themselves in trouble that they do nothing about. Nothing about. You're going to be up for all sorts of things that you have no knowledge of, but you can't convince anyone because the data, the information is so real and so true that you can't convince anyone. By the time you do, you might already pass away. So it is a dangerous time to live. And I'm telling you, very interesting time. And while we have to welcome the thing, but we have to be mindful of what we are welcoming into our lives. Something that is monitoring us, it is spying on us, it is doing every single thing that you can think about that it wants to do. And we don't have any control over it.
That's the point. But another valid point that in my own experience, is that we have made the way for this to happen.
We have cleared it. We were the ones who put it in place. It didn't come by itself.
And there are places that I've gone to, and I've said it, that persons. What are the benefits for employers? Well, for one, AI won't get sick. You don't have to think about sick leave.
No, they don't need a worker. They need an AI.
Right?
Yes.
You don't have to think about emotions if you have a customer service person, because there are some places that you go to, Mikey G,
and customer service is rotten.
Terrible. That yes. The way that you're treated, you would. A better treatment would come from a machine then, because then you're not having that expectation. So there are things that we do too that encourages and open the space for AI, but also it has helped in some respects and in many respects.
No. AI by far, Lady Ellis.
It's not really very new. It's just that it's becoming more integrated. Other areas.
AI is what it is. AI has done an amazing discovery for many. In fact, one person can be in one country and operate and actually have operate a heart surgery operation in another country using the AI tools and the technology that is existing. Now, that is an amazing thing to see. And so we look at all the benefits of it and the good benefits. But then when you look at the bad benefits of it, man, you can wonder what you have done. It's like you sell yourself to the devil, right? But you get all these goodies, but your soul is lost. And you're certainly going to hell, right? All right. I will say to the people this morning that there's a church that is called the Adventists that has been teaching about the mark of the beast and the end of time and the fact that you won't be able to buy or sell. And has been teaching, not so much anymore, and most of the persons are not teaching so much anymore because, some people no longer believe that they should. And I'm going to say it like that. I'm going to say it as plain as I can. But there are many who are still out there blazing the trail. Some persons has gone contemporary. and has become liberal and more acceptant of all the other contemporary messages,
Yes.
and have gone totally cuckoo and thinking that they are serving the community. They are not. And so we have not heard much about these messages anymore. But there are people out there who are blazing the trail and teaching the message and not giving and dropping the ball. And so this church would have taught about the third angel's message and how the world would come to a certain point where people won't be able to buy or sell. And this is 150 years ago this is being taught. Today is the reality of it. There, 150 years ago, 160 years, 150 years, now is the reality that these statements that were made and prophesied and made plain 150 years ago is now a reality in 2025. And most of our people who would have taught this are silent. They are not blazing the trail and teaching the people about what this means. They are all fanning the flame and keeping quiet and relaxing because they think it is a time to celebrate something else. But it's sudden destruction that is coming upon us. And I'm saying to most persons, yes, AI is wonderful, Lady Elise, but the danger that lurks in the dark with this tool is far greater than the benefits that we are getting from it. But I want to say to the church and those who are doing teaching the message, keep doing what you're doing, guys. You are doing the right thing. And despite what others might say, you are standing for truth. Do it.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much, Mikey G, for that reminder. So, if you're joining us, it's the breakfast hour. Today, we focused on finance from a different perspective. Of course, our financial advisor came on and gave us a guide as to investing in the Caribbean and what are the options if you're residing outside of your home in the Caribbean, or if you want to invest in the Caribbean, what you need to do, what are the steps in financing that goal or that project. Now, today is also celebrated as AI in the Workplace Day, which is what we were discussing September 30th. It's a new celebration started this year by LinkedIn. And it's
Yes.
just trying to bring some sort of knowledge as to what AI, the benefits, and how we can integrate it in work. Now, as we get out of here, it's time for our news, and I'm sure you want to know what's happening in the Cayman Islands as well as outside of the Cayman Islands, in the world, internationally as well. So, our news anchor, Corley Karen, will bring that to you. Just a reminder that we are here, the breakfast hour, every single morning. You can listen to us on our web radio. Find us also on Instagram, on YouTube, and on Facebook as well. You are hard to miss us. Yeah, it's very hard to miss us because we are everywhere. If you want to contribute to the conversation, please send us a message 345-321-6969, and we will get in touch with you. Now it's time for the news.
Having said that, Lady Elise, I thank you all guys for joining us this morning for this segment of the Breakfast Hour. News time. All right.
September 30th. Here's your breakfast hour news from the Cayman Islands and around the region. I'm Corley Karen, and here are the top stories this morning. Government and opposition clash over disappearing deficit. A heated exchange erupted in Parliament's Finance Committee as government and opposition MPs spared over a dramatic shift in public finances, from a projected 60 million deficit to a 10.3 million surplus forecast in just 2 months. Finance Minister Ralston Anglin faced tough questions from opposition Deputy Leader Kenneth Bryan and former Premier Juliana O'Connor-Connolly, who demanded an explanation for the turnaround, especially as government simultaneously sought an additional $180 million in spending. Bryan accused the administration of exaggerating the deficit to later claim financial success, saying, quote, "It looks like the government tried to make it seem worse than it was to come back and say, look, we did a surplus," end quote. Anglin defended the government's position, pointing to cost-cutting measures such as a soft recruitment freeze, and clarified he never publicly confirmed the 60 million figure as government's official stance. That figure was first mentioned by government member Wayne Panton in a July interview. The final outlook for 2025 remains uncertain, but the debate underscores mounting political tension over fiscal management ahead of year-end. Police Chief: public safe despite staffing shortage. The Royal Cayman Islands Police Service is short 26 officers, but Commissioner Kurt Walton says public safety remains intact. Speaking before the Finance Committee, Walton revealed the force still has the same number of officers as in 2008, despite a population increase from 56,000 to nearly 88,000 and 17 more departments. To manage the shortage, officers have been temporarily reassigned from community policing roles, though Walton promised the program will be refreshed and rebranded by 2026. He also confirmed $812,000 of recent funding has gone to recruitment, with hopes of adding 13 new officers. Opposition leader Joey Hugh and Kenneth Bryan questioned why $5.8 million approved for RCIPS before the 2025 election never reached the force, and raised concerns about a government-wide hiring freeze. Anglin said the soft freeze still allowed some hiring and that major increases are planned for the 2026-27 budget. Government pledges HSA board pay reform. The government pledged to overhaul the way statutory board members are paid after revelations that Health Service Authority board directors collected nearly $491,000 over 18 months, a figure MP Chris Saunders called obscene. Health Minister Catherine Ebanks-Wilkes told MPs Cabinet is considering a flat fee structure rather than paying for every meeting. She acknowledged the board met frequently, but said a more standardized, governance-focused model is needed. Saunders highlighted cases of directors earning over $10,000 in a single month and said money should go to hospital staff rather than board stipends. A nurse's salary is about $75,000 a year compared to £12,000 to £25,000 annually for UK NHS non-executive directors. SpaceX launches could temporarily close Cayman airspace. The U.S. Federal Aviation Administration is reviewing new launch trajectories proposed by SpaceX that could see its Starship Super Heavy rockets pass near the Cayman Islands, prompting temporary airspace closures. The Civil Aviation Authority of the Cayman Islands confirmed it is in talks with relevant agencies and says that there are no immediate safety concerns, though airline schedules could face delays of 40 minutes to 2 hours during launches. SpaceX says the changes are needed to support rapid development and reduce launch costs. However, astronomers warn of risks, with half of Starship's 10 launches ending in failure so far. Man given suspended sentence for selling encumbered car. A 43-year-old man from Cayman Brac, Dorian Delan Hunter, has been handed an 18-month suspended prison sentence after selling a car still under lien to an amputee who was left without transport when the vehicle was repossessed. Hunter must repay $10,375 in compensation, $7,000 by today, and the remainder by December 15th. Justice Cheryl Richards, KC, called the offense deliberate dishonesty and said the custody threshold had been met. Hunter's prior convictions and late guilty plea were aggravating factors, though his role as a family breadwinner influenced the suspended sentence. U.S. downgrades Barbados and St. Lucia on trafficking watch list. The U.S. State Department has placed Barbados and St. Lucia on its 2025 Trafficking in Persons Tier 2 watch list, citing a lack of progress in combating human trafficking. Neither country initiated investigations or prosecutions, nor identified any victims in the past year. Cuba and Venezuela remain at Tier 3, while Haiti is classified as a special case due to ongoing gang violence and state collapse. Countries failing to improve risk U.S. sanctions under the Trafficking Victims Protection Act. Climate costs outpace small states' capacity, envoy warns. Antigua and Barbuda's Ambassador Sir Ronald Saunders says climate change and unfair financial systems are trapping Caribbean states in permanent recovery. Speaking at an IACHR consultation, Saunders warned that rising disaster costs, surging insurance prices, and limited access to finance are crippling small states' ability to adapt. He called for adoption of the Multidimensional Vulnerability Index to unlock affordable financing and said climate and debt crises must be treated as human rights issues. Jamaica-China reaffirm deep partnership. Jamaica and the People's Republic of China have reaffirmed their long-standing partnership as China marked the 76th anniversary of its founding. State Minister Alando Tarlong praised China's support in key sectors like infrastructure, education, and healthcare, highlighting major projects including the Southern Coastal Highway and Western Children and Adolescent Hospital. China's new ambassador to Jamaica, Jinfeng Wang, pledged to deepen cooperation and build on the strategic partnership established in 2019 when Jamaica joined the Belt and Road Initiative. And that's your breakfast or news update for this morning. I'm Corley Karen. Continue to stay tuned for weather and traffic right after this.
I want to thank Corey Karen for the news this morning. Of course, I want to thank Lady Elise also for joining me this morning. It has been a beautiful morning right here in the Grand Cayman. A little bit of rain every now and then, of course, overcast, but mostly sunny. Alright, so weather will come up next. Of course, remember, continue to experience Flashpoint on our web radio, www.flashpointmedia.ky. We have the weather news and additional newscasts and the sports for you later on. Of course, myself, Mikey G, and of course, on behalf of Cordy Karen and ladies, I want to thank you all for joining us this morning for this edition of the Breakfast Hour. And of course, we had some good advice from our financial advisor this morning on how to finance your homes and how to actually go about it. Right now, I have to see if I can make sure that I don't lose my connection with my local bank in Jamaica, so I can always purchase property and have a steady financial connection in the country that I am birthed. Thank you guys for joining. Have yourself a great day. Remember, tomorrow is Wellness Wednesday with Dr. K right here again on Flashpoint Radio, flashpointmedia.ky. Have yourself a God bless day, guys. See you tomorrow. Continue to enjoy our web radio, www.flashpointmedia.ky.
Do you have a talent for singing, playing an instrument, spoken word, or dance? Then this is your moment. Cayman's Got Talent Season 1 is here. And for our first season, we're putting the spotlight on gospel. Selected participants will be featured at the Point of Praise Gospel Extravaganza on October 25, 2025. But hurry, the final date for registration is September 30. To register, email us at info@flashpointmedia.ky or WhatsApp 345-321-6969. That's 345-321-6969. Don't miss this opportunity to showcase your talent and be part of something special. Cayman's Got Talent.
It's like we're running in circles, going around every day, getting stuck in the hurdles of yesterday. Don't you wanna go further, away from the fray? Let's not get stuck in our worries, we'll make our own way. Won't you come outside where the sunflowers bloom? Breathe in the air, look up to the moon. I'll meet you outside.